The indictment on Friday of a dozen Russian military intelligence officers for hacking Democratic Party and Clinton campaign emails in an effort to sway the 2016 election throws light on a sophisticated operation believed to have close links with Vladimir Putin. The male hackers adopted pseudonyms from genuine-sounding names like Kate S. Milton and James McMorgans to more bizarre options like Jangamajikdev and Ryaldlatr as they fired off phishing emails aimed at getting their targets to reveal sensitive information. This information was then spread through fake social media accounts and websites. Bitcoin transactions worth $95,000 were used to purchase domain registrations and computer servers while maintaining anonymity, according to the indictment. The document, published by Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, says the officers were members of the Russian government's main intelligence directorate, GRU, which suggests their work was done with the full knowledge of President Putin. They worked out of two Moscow locations, Unit 26165, located at 20 Komsomolsky Prospect, and Unit 74455, based in a glass office block on 22 Korova Street dubbed The Tower. The 29-page document, drafted by a team overseen by Special Counsel Robert Mueller, says that in the months leading up to the November 2016 election, the Russians used fairly simple methods to steal documents from the Democratic Party and the Clinton campaign. Share this article. Share this, including sending emails disguised as Google security alerts containing links to malware, which they then used to steal passwords, track computer usage and monitor banking information. Information aimed at damaging Clinton's prospects was then circulated on popular social media platforms such as Twitter and Facebook under fake names, often claiming to be based on the U.S. One of the group servers was based in Illinois and, as was usual, bought with Bitcoin. The use of Bitcoin allowed the conspirators to avoid direct relationships with traditional financial institutions, allowing them to evade greater scrutiny of their identities and sources of funds, the indictment said. Mueller's team says the Russians used spear phishing, a technique used to steal passwords or otherwise gain access to computers throughout the summer of 2016 to hack individuals associated with the Clinton campaign. One attempt noted in the indictment appeared to come hours after Donald Trump suggested Russians look for Clinton's emails. On the morning of July 27, 2016, Trump gave a speech in which he said, "Russia, if you're listening, he'd love to get a look at the thousands of emails Clinton had said she deleted from her tenure as Secretary of State." The indictment points to a hacking attempt that same day, saying that after hours the Russians attempted to spearfish for the first time email accounts at a domain hosted by a third-party provider and used by Clinton's personal office. Around the same time, the indictment says, they targeted 76 email addresses at the Clinton campaign's domain. The indictment raises questions for President Trump's longtime confidant Roger Stone, who on Friday acknowledged communicating over Twitter messages with a user called Gooksiffer2. Zero identified on the indictment as a Russian agent. Stone insists he did not know this at the time. Trump's political opponents have accused Stone of being part of a plot to release material on WikiLeaks, pointing to statements he made in August 2016 suggesting he knew in advance what would appear on the website. According to the indictment, the Russian hacking operation was so precise that they were able to pinpoint specific computers within the House Democratic Campaign Arm, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, and the Democratic National Committee that stored information related to the election. They were able to search the computers for certain terms, like Hillary, Cruz, and Trump. They also copied folders, including opposition research and field operation plans. The Russians hid their own involvement through fake email addresses and identities in a network of computers located around the world, including in the United States. The indictment says the Russians hacked the website of a state board of elections and stole the information of roughly 500,000 voters, including names, addresses, partial social security numbers, dates of birth, and driver's license numbers. They also hacked into a national election vendor that supplied software used to verify voter registration information. Federal officials have said state election sites in at least 18 states were probed by the Russians. The indictment adds county offices specifically in Georgia, Florida, and Iowa to the list of election administration sites they allegedly visited to identify vulnerabilities. Department of Homeland Security officials have said there is no evidence of any election results being tampered with during the 2016 intrusions. Special counsel indictment of 12 Russian GRU agents uploaded by DailyMail.com on script privacy policy.